Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Copper Dragons here, and I'm going to be playing some more KNACK 2. So let's hop right in and continue the game. But yeah, weirdly enough, yesterday, my last video on this game, got an age restriction put on it for like an entire day, and I just got it removed earlier today. Like it was so weird how I just randomly got an age restriction on a game that's only rated E10 plus in America anyways. Like this game, mind you, in America is rated E10 plus. Try and tell me how that deserves an age restriction. Heck, the only thing I even brought up, like in the entire video that even remotely deserved you know, an age restriction was talking about that one anime. I forget the name of it now, but like that was the only thing I can even see that even remotely deserved an age restriction. And even then I didn't go into detail, so it wasn't even, you know, like fully deserving, you know? Like, I didn't even go into detail on what was shown. All I saw, like, all I brought up was just the basic concepts of what was brought up, of what was shown. So, yeah. Like, I don't even know why or how that video got an age restriction.
Yikes.
Like, honestly.
We should be leaving now.
Like, good thing it got removed, or else I would be a lot more mad at YouTube. Like honestly, I'm not too awfully upset about it, because while the age restriction did get removed, like, I'm not too mad about it now, looking back on it. But, you know, it's still pretty stupid that the video got an age restriction put onto it whenever it didn't even deserve one, honestly. Like, in all honesty, it didn't even deserve.
If a boulder won't take this guy's out, what will?
Like, honestly, like I'm not too awfully upset about it though, because the age restriction did get removed at the end of the day. I'm not too awfully upset about it. Huh. Come on. Okay. I believe this is part 12. If I'm remembering correctly. Okay, I need to get out. Okay. I need to knock this guy off the cliff. Wait, can it even be a guy since it's a robot? So, I mean, which brings up another thing that I have a problem with in a recent Transformers thing. Like, somehow they're introducing the concepts of pronouns to the Transformers. And yes, they are robots. How does that even work? They don't even have the parts necessary to even have the concept of pronouns be introduced to their species. So how can they have pronouns at that point if they don't even have, you know, the basic physiology that is required behind pronouns? Like, that just doesn't add up. Like, that is the main thing I have with, you know, introducing pronouns to children's shows or whatever. Like, they always introduce it at the, like, for the characters that either make the least amount of sense or stuff like that. Like, they either Like, for the most part, they shouldn't even be introducing those concepts to those characters. Because, frankly, I think that kids shouldn't be learning about that concept so early, considering the age rating of those series are usually more geared towards, like, 7-year-olds. And you shouldn't really be teaching kids those kinds of concepts so young. Yes, they have to learn it at some point, but not that young. You know? Like, they shouldn't be learning those kinds of concepts at like 7, 8 years old.
I hope so.
And that's honestly my main issue with those kinds of things, is that they introduce those kinds of concepts way too early. You know, to be considered, you know, not predatory. Like, there's no way they're not, like, trying to make it predatory at that point. Like, that is my main issue with that concept altogether, is that a lot of times they try and force it on the kids, like, whenever they are so young and where they can't even, you know, learn those kinds of concepts, you know? Like, where they are, like, at max, like, 10 years old. Like, and they clearly shouldn't be learning about those concepts yet, where they wouldn't even grasp the damage that it can do to their mentality, you know? Like, yes, I agree, you can teach them those kinds of concepts, but not that young, you know? Like, just keep it away from the kids at that point. Like, I've seen people literally become, you know, like, registered on that list for, like, I've seen examples of people becoming registered on that list for far less. Like, literally far less. And somehow that's supposed to be considered okay. Huh. Wait, am I supposed to knock him off this corner? Okay. That's one of them down. Yeah, I did it. Hey, at least I don't have to go through that fight again.
Xander's not fooling around. Those things are nasty.
We're too late.
Yeah.
He's powering up the Titans.
Look! Oh, Katrina's in trouble. We have to help her.
Honestly, I don't care about Ryder anymore.
Let's do it.
I couldn't care less about his character, knowing that he's basically stalked Katrina for
I
months.
swore an oath never to reveal this kata to outsiders. But I know this is what you need to defeat Xander. Now go get him.
Huh. So, I guess I gotta figure out the ultimate move. Which is what I've seen in the trophy list, I'm pretty sure is what it's called.
That's more like it.
Is that the ultimate move or something? I gotta tell ya, Ava's the biggest Xander glazer I've ever seen. Wait, is she supposed to be this game's version of Kanye West? Think about it. She's literally glazing a dictator who's wanting the death of multiple people. Remind you of anyone? Which honestly, what Kanye's doing, like that just shows he's more insane than the Joker. Because at least Joker said that he doesn't support that group. You know? Like, no, I'm not joking. That was actually a real plotline, mind you. I'm backed into a corner here. Okay. Okay, I gotta take this one out, because, well, can't risk too much damage. You know, like I can't take that kind of risk while being, you know, a smaller version of KNACK. Like, yes, he's still decently sized, but he's still relatively small, you know? Huh. Okay. Darn it. That was on me. I should have waited. I feel so stupid. I feel so stupid for that. I'm gonna turn off my... Alright, I had to get the mic turned back on. So that's why I paused the game. Because I noticed that I was on a platform that if I stood on it for too long, it would, you know, disappear. Okay. Time to move whenever these tasers go. Okay, let's just continue moving to try and beat the game, because I am so close to the end. I do not know how I survived that. Honestly, I do not know. I was backed into a corner with little to no chance of escaping. So I do not know how I got through. Wow, I am not getting that much XP anymore.
Whatever Xander was doing here, he's done it. Where do you think he's heading?
It has to be New Haven. I'm sorry, Lucas.
Let's be sure we get there
Yeah,
first.
and Ava has no room to talk here. She's a main reason why all of this is happening.
Katrina first, then Xander.
Like, she has no reason to act like she's innocent here. Like, she's a main reason why all of this is happening. Like, and that's my main takeaway. I'm surprised that these games actually made me like Lucas. I am so shocked at that. Like, I never thought I'd see the day. Honestly. Well, at least I just got a crap ton of experience right there. So that's something. At least I'm getting more and more experience, which is something that I wanted to do for the skill tree. Ooh, more experience. Hey, it was a risk, but it was a risk well deserved. At least I didn't die. That's something, anyways. So... Okay. So let's move out and try and... Wait. Darn it. I feel so stupid. I feel so stupid for walking off the edge like that. Okay, I need some sun crystals. So that way I can, you know, boost up my shield a little bit. Ooh, more relics. So that way I can, you know, grow in size and thus grow in strength and,
Is this where you saw Katrina making her last stand?
I think so.
grow in strength and, HP. And also inevitably grow in speed, because, well, the bigger that KNACK gets, the more distance he can travel, which is obvious. You know, like, it's obvious that the bigger that you get, the more distance you can travel. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Okay. Well, at least I'm making some decent progress here. Well, at least I'm defeating a bunch of enemies here. And with relative ease, too. Thank God I actually have a bunch of abilities now, thanks to the skill tree. Even though I do hate skill trees for locking a bunch of skills or abilities that should have been in the game from the get-go. Like, up to leveling up. I get it if it's just like a basic stat boost or something. You know, that's more understandable. But if it's something like, you know, what you can do, that's what I hate about skill trees. Or if it's something like how they do in Pokemon, where Pokemon learn different moves at different levels. That makes more sense, because you wouldn't want to give all the strongest moves out from the get-go. You know? Like that kind of stuff makes sense. And it's not really a skill tree, because, well, it's a level-based system. It's an RPG. Like, it's a genuine RPG. That part makes sense. But if it's something, you know, like unlocking the ability to jump from a skill tree, that's something that really aggravates me about skill trees. If it's a basic concept like, you know, jumping or attacking that you have to unlock from a skill tree, yeah, that's not a good skill tree at that point. So I'm gonna dodge all these attacks, except for that one that I just took, you know, just a little bit ago. So Jesus Christ, why am I struggling with this one enemy? I'm gonna have to build up my Sunstone Charge reservoir so I can actually stand a chance, or at least somewhat anyways. Okay, now let's go in for the attack. Okay, I'm gonna hit it with the ultimate moves only. Well, turns out the kick just did it fine. So, 2 ultimate attacks and a kick on normal difficulty is what it takes to just take that down.
You okay?
I hate how they're trying to make Ryder look like this suave ladies man, even though he literally was stalking her for months.
You go and do something like this. It's enough to drive someone crazy.
You're reconsidering, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Sure you are.
Katrina's forces have been destroyed.
Ryder's
It's
a
up to you two
creep.
now. You're all that stands between Xander and New Haven.
Ava, why is he doing this?
I know
Oh,
it's hard to
God.
understand, but after Marius crushed the High Goblins and their civilization, and there were no more battles to be fought, he looked upon all that he had wrought and realized he had become as cruel as the High Goblins. It was then Marius knew that humankind needed wisdom more than strength. Marius turned to the way of peace. He founded the Order of the Monks, and for many years they ruled the human
So
world.
let me guess.
He began to
Xander
thrive.
is Marius.
The way of peace suited humans, but more importantly, the way of the monk was respected.
Let me guess.
But as our founders' time came to an end, so did the influence of the monks. Our contributions to humanity were all but forgotten. Soon people thought of us as solitary
Is
eccentrics or
Marius
worse, quaint folk of a
An
bygone era.
ancestor of Xander
Xander
or
found it all
something.
humiliating. He felt power was the only way to regain the respect we lost.
Yeah, but the whole army of ancient robots thing?
It's a bit much.
Exactly.
Plain.
We'll be right behind you.
Lucas and KNACK are exactly right there. Right. Like, killing thousands, if not millions of innocents for your own personal gain because you want control? That does not make you look like the best sort of person. That does not make you look like the best.
Nice to be home. But it's different than I remember.
It's probably the invading army. Let's go.
Time to put an end to Xander's plan.
Oh god. Is this the chapter from the beginning of the game? Or something, you know? From the intro, from the first chapter? But I can tell you, this game is a lot shorter than the first game. I can tell you that wholeheartedly. Like I don't even remember how many parts I believe it took me over 20 parts to beat the first game. Well, in this one it's gonna take me a max of like 15.
Minions. Get him, KNACK.
Jesus Christ, will that tornado have come down if I stayed alive? Like, would it have went down? Okay, I see an experience crate, so yeah, let's just grab that. Wait, this can be
Destroying
pulled.
our city.
Okay, let's continue the game a little bit. Okay. These enemies are relatively easier to take out because, you know, they're smaller. And the smaller the enemy gets, the easier they are to take out. Unless if they have some sort of shield or weapon of some sort. Or those, you know, those purple hexagon things. Like, then that would make them slightly more difficult to take out. And the bigger an enemy gets, the more difficult it will be to take out because that's basically how size concepts work in this game. You know, like, size concepts really matter in this game. I'm gonna turn off my mic. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, like, size concepts really matter in this game for some reason. Like, I like how, like, KNACK does it because it actually makes sense for his character, you know, to have a size concept for his character. But for the enemies and others, you know, it really doesn't make sense, you know? I get that they have to provide some sort of challenge, but still, like, it just doesn't make sense for the most part, anyways. Okay. You know what, I'm gonna let those little things just go. Because, well, they're kind of pointless. And I know that the civilians will be okay inevitably. For the most part, anyways. Okay. Let's just take out this big guy first. Because he obviously has the most HP, like I mentioned, with, you know, size and mattering in this game. So obviously he would have the most HP. Okay. And also he has that electrocution field, so that's something that he has going for him. Hey, at least I didn't die there. That's something I have going for me. Okay. I'm gonna try and, you know, move this, because that's obviously what I need to do.
KNACK,
Because why else would it have that blue bar on it? That obviously indicates that it can move, you know, in unusual ways. Like, why would it be there if it wasn't, you know, meant to be used? You know? Okay. Let's just continue pushing on. And then just... Wait, I'm supposed to jump up here. Okay. I'm gonna try and keep pushing on, in this game, and then see if I can actually beat it.
I'll take it from here. You're a little fragile for what's running around out there.
I just
Exactly.
wish I could do more.
Do more. You figured out what was happening. Found the control center.
Exactly.
Saved us when we were stranded.
And I gave Xander the artifact. Those superpowered robots out there, that's me too.
We
Well,
all
he
need
has a
statements.
point there, but Lucas
matters
has really turned
What
around.
you do next.
I just can't help but think it's all my fault. What have I done?
Well, I admit, Lucas does have some part to play here. He's honestly turned around and actually acknowledges his mistakes.
We'll set this right, Lucas. Beginning now.
At least he's actually acknowledging them now. Wait, is this just a repeat of that first chapter? You know, but with updated enemies to fit the core line with what I've seen in the game so far, what we've seen in the game. Because abilities have changed since then. So I'm guessing that's the case. So... okay, let's just focus on taking these guys out, so I can actually progress in the game. I honestly don't know what to say for the most part, because while I've already run out of things I wanted to say. So let's just continue and try and beat the final boss, I guess, later on anyways, in the next chapter or two. I'm gonna try and focus on beating the game, and then see where we go from there. Because that's all I really have left to focus on. Jump in the sewer. Okay. I'm just gonna continue and continue and continue. Wow, these enemies are a lot easier to take out now. Considering I have basically the strongest attacks in the game. Well, that the game has to offer anyways. I wouldn't mind getting a hello there from KNACK. Honestly, I really like these games. Sure, they have flaws, but honestly, really like the games. Like, the combat is so fluid, the mechanics are very well executed, the story is relatively good considering it kind of makes the wrong people look like the better people. Even though, well, they do a lot of stuff that wouldn't fly in the real world. If this were the real world, that is. But still, it's a relatively enjoyable experience. Okay, I'm gonna try and take out these enemies now. Wait, where am I? Oh, it's this vent cover. I feel so stupid. Wait, can't KNACK just reclaim all his relics? You know, if no matter how far away they are. Like, I get it if they're in crates, but I mean like the ones that he lost from, you know, being trapped inside a gate or whatever. Whenever he gets to another side, you know, like an opening, can't he just get to them there? Like, can't he just, you know, gain more size from there? That would honestly, like, make a lot more sense, but I guess it's to add some more difficulty to the game, so I can't really blame them. Oh yeah, I heard that some rumors of Borderlands 4 that, like, I heard it's inevitably gonna be like $80 or something. Yeah, nobody's paying for that. I know nobody's paying for that. Even the most diehard of fans. Like, I just know nobody's paying for that. Judging by hardly even anyone paying for like $70 games, you know? So I know nobody's gonna be paying for $80 games. In all honesty. Like, everyone got upset about $70 games. And they almost bankrupted the gaming industry. You know, 'cause of the prices. So, just imagine what they will do, you know, with $80 games. The gaming industry is certainly gonna crash. You know, like how it did back in the 80s. Where the NES had to remove the word gaming from its title just so it could be marketed, just so it could enter stores. Was that greedy on Nintendo's part? Yes, but I'm not too mad about it. Like, I'm not too mad about that, considering it saved the gaming industry. Okay, let's try and fill up the skill tree. All I have is one more skill in this segment before I can unlock the final one. Too bad I likely won't be able to fill out the entire skill tree. That really sucks. Unless if they give me like a crap load of XP, like before the end of the game, to where like I can actually, you know, fill out the skill tree. Honestly, I just really hope that, because I just wanted to fill out the skill tree, but I doubt that I will. Okay. Let's take out this guy now. And I love how these games entice you to be creative with your attacks. That's something that I honestly love that they did. Is that they allow you to be creative. And no, this is not me replaying the entire story. This is chapter 13. Just thought I had to clarify that for anyone that's confused.
I got it.
And honestly, I love how this game entices you to be creative with your combat styles. Sure, you mostly get a punch and a kick, and maybe a few other attacks, but it still does entice you to be creative with your combat styles. And that's honestly what I love in combat in gaming, is that it can entice you to be creative with your fighting styles. And that's honestly what games should do, instead of just saying, oh, gun goes pew, or whatever, or some crap like that. Like they should entice a little bit of creativity, instead of letting you fire a gun, and that's it. And that's honestly what I have, like it's just become way too gun heavy in gaming. Like, yes, guns do kill, but that's not a creative outlet for gaming in combat. Like, that's just not creative. Like, if anything, that's just lazy combat at that point. Like, it is just lazy writing and game design, focusing way too heavily on guns, instead of letting you have a sense of creativity. Like, it should let you have any combat style that you so choose. And that's what it should be doing with its gameplay. Instead of just saying, guns go pew, now use them the entire game. Because they're the most powerful attacks that you have. They're the most powerful and some of the only attacks that you have. Like, that's honestly just lazy combat. Did that thing just win? Did it just defeat KNACK? Oh. So I guess I gotta climb up this thing. Okay, I gotta be extra careful, considering, you know, everything that's going on. But honestly, I hate how, like, the more money streaming services like YouTube and Twitch, I hate how, for the creators that make them the more money, like, it just basically gives them a slap on the wrist for anything that violates their TOS. Like, that's honestly something that I hate. Like, look at that whole thing. Like, look at everything Sniper Wolf has done over the years. That clearly violates TOS. And somehow she's still up and making content to this day. with no punishment. Heck, the most punishment I have ever seen her get is a 2-week ban. Like a 2-week monetization loss. That's the most I've ever seen her getting terms and punished. And that's honestly really sad on YouTube's end. And we all know why Twitch has a favoritism issue. Like, we've all seen that happen countless times by now. I mean, come on, look at Hassan and his group of people, and his group of associates. They're literally the poster children of Twitch favorites. Which is, honestly, why I won't use Twitch. Like, to make content on. Like, that's honestly why. Because they play favorites. Like, more so than YouTube. And that's honestly why I hate Twitch as a platform. You know? Because they play favorites. Like, and that's honestly why I'm never gonna, like, that's honestly why I don't want to use YouTube altogether. Okay. Let's just continue using this robot. But yeah, I'm never using Twitch. Like, sure, I'll watch the occasional streamer every once in a while, but that's about it. Like, that's about all I watch, is like the occasional streamer, you know? Like, that's about it for what I'll watch. It's just an occasional streamer. But most of the time it'll inevitably be on YouTube that I'll watch a stream. Because YouTube is by far the far better platform at the end of the day. Like, YouTube is just a far better platform at the end of the day. Because, well, not only does it provide better monetary feeds than Twitch, but it also has less favoritism issues. You know? Like, sure, there's favoritism on YouTube, but it's nowhere near the level of Twitch. You know? Like, it's nowhere near that level. Sure, YouTube does play favorites. I'm not gonna deny that. But it's nowhere near to the level of something like Twitch. Like, it's honestly, like, it's just, like, that's honestly why I prefer YouTube. Like, and that's why I prefer to make content over on here, on YouTube. Like, honestly, Twitch has far more issues than what it does with YouTube. I'm gonna turn off my mic. That, for some reason my smoke alarms just go off for the dumbest of reasons, and they just go off randomly anymore. Like, I do not know why. Like, they just randomly go off for some reason. I'm gonna turn them off again. But yeah, like they just sporadically go off for the dumbest of reasons. I mean, come on. Like I was bringing up earlier, why couldn't KNACK do something like that? You know? Like with his relics? Okay. At least I'm making some decent coverage. At least I'm, you know, getting somewhere. Wow, I'm 21 feet tall. Wow, dating apps would certainly love KNACK. Considering, well, give him enough relics and he can be any size he wants. Dating apps would certainly love him at that point, if he were real. Okay, I'm gonna use the ultimate move on that tank. Well, it turns out I didn't need it. Okay. That one just took 4 hits. Wow. Okay, at least I'm gonna try and grow in size a little bit so I can actually, you know, deal more damage and go faster. Wait. Return to New Haven, that's the name of the segment. I'm gonna check and see if there's anything back here. Ooh, more XP. Yay. I really want to try and fill out the skill tree. That's why I always get excited whenever I see those XP crates. It's because of that reason alone. Okay. Now let's try and get up here.
Gotta catch up somehow. There we go.
Strike Team 1, we are go.
Wait, I'm gonna check and see how long I've been recording. Okay, I've been recording for almost an hour now. So, I'm gonna have to end the video pretty soon. I'm gonna end it after this segment. Like, I'm gonna end it after I get through this. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna end today's video here. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. And also, I'm gonna pick up the recording right where I left off. Okay? So, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.